Good morning, everybody. Mark with you here again. Today we're going to be talking about the word tip. I've realised that we use this word very often and in lots of different ways. This is the first of a two-part series on the word tip. So number one, to tip someone or to give someone a tip. To tip someone means to give someone some extra money for providing a good service. So for example, you could give a taxi driver a tip. Or you could give a waitress a tip for being very friendly or very helpful. So, for example, you could say, I'm going to give the waitress a tip. She was so helpful. Or, I'm going to give the taxi driver a tip. He was very friendly. In Australia, however, it's not necessary to give anybody a tip if you don't want to. However, it is a nice thing to do. It's a nice gesture. In America, however, it is often expected that a tip is given, especially in a restaurant. It is expected that you give 10% of the cost of the meal because in America, the waiters and waitresses don't get paid a lot, so they rely on the tips to make a good income. The second meaning, to give someone a tip as advice. So, for example, I could say, I'll give you a tip on how to save money. If you shop at Aldi's, you can save a lot of money. Aldi's is a food store that sells products cheaply. Or you could ask me, Mark, have you got any tips on how I can learn English quickly? I would say to you, the best tip I can give you is to speak as much as possible. You also have to work really hard on your English. Number 3, to tip someone in the game of tip. This is a kid's game where they run and chase each other. One person is in or it, and they have to touch the other person or tag the other person, and then the other person is in. Often in this game, when somebody touches or tips the other person, they'll say, gotcha, which means I got you, which means I touched you. Now you're in. To tip over, you could accidentally tip over your cup of tea. Sorry, by the way, this is number 4. You could tip over your cup of tea accidentally, or a drink of some kind. Or, for example, a stack of books. You have books stacked up, one on top of each other, one top of another. The book stack could tip over, could fall over. Number 5, to tip off. To tip off someone means to warn or alert someone about something or usually something that is bad that is going to happen. So, for example, the police could be tipped off by an anonymous caller. Somebody calls up and they say this bank's going to be robbed today. So the police have been tipped off. So they're ready and waiting. Another phrasal verb, to tip out. You could tip out your drink, for example. You don't want it anymore, you tip it out. Tip the water out. And very similarly, we use this to tip out. You could tip it down the drain or the sink. In the kitchen, here's the sink, the kitchen sink. You tip down the drink down the sink. You tip it down the sink. Okay, so that's plenty for today. I'll get back to you very shortly with the other meanings of the word tip. Take care. Thanks very much. Bye. Mark.